Margin comments are an especially useful tool when using a Google Doc. One of the things that margin comments can do is create a digital collaborative workspace. So I'm just going to start off by showing you what margin comments could look like. So I'm going to switch to a different document, and we can see that something's been written, and over here we have what look to be like little post-its. They're margin comments. And we can maybe notice that there's some highlighted text in our paragraph, and that highlighting connects to the margin comment. So when they highlighted the number 2 and they wrote a margin comment, it was about that number 2. This margin comment is attached to this last sentence. So these are what margin comments end up looking like. They're notes off to the side or digital post-its that can be used to communicate while using a Google document. Let's see how we get them. So I've come back to a simple paragraph on using margin comments. And as an author, sometimes I like to jot notes to myself. As I'm writing that paragraph, I have a thought to come back to later. That might be one use of the margin comment, just leaving something for myself. And there are a couple of ways that we can put in our margin comments. But the thing we must realize is that our cursor needs to be anchored in the text. The margin comment must attach to something. It can attach to a word. It can attach to just a piece of punctuation. It can even attach to an empty space. But we have to be anchored in the text. Otherwise, if we're up over here, it's much harder to realize what our margin comments are connecting to. So I am someone who likes to highlight a single word or maybe a piece of punctuation. And we'll notice that as I did that, this little circle with a square with a plus inside appeared for me. That's my add a comment. So I'm going to click on that plus and I get my little post-it or my margin comment, and I can write anything I want in there. And then I verify that I indeed want this comment by pressing the comment button. And it's as simple as that. But there are a couple other ways to make that happen. So I did it by highlighting a word or a piece of punctuation, and then looking for that circle to appear over here, kind of hovers right on the edge of the paper. We can also, I'll highlight another word, and maybe I don't want to click on that. I can come over here and say insert comment, and there's a shortcut of Control-Alt-M, and that will bring up another digital post-it for me to use as well. And then I hit the comment button, and there it is. And there's even another way I can get my margin comment. Again, I'm going to anchor myself in the text. I'm going to pick that comma, and I'm going to come all the way up here to what looks to be like a thought bubble. I'm going to click on that, click comment, and I'll say this is my third comment. And then I hit the comment button again. So 3 different ways that we can leave that margin comment. This one up here, the thought bubble, actually will have all of these in it. If we look a little bit more closely, right, it sort of is my history of margin comments. So that's kind of the grandfather of margin comments. And again, I'm showing that I can leave a margin comment to myself. I can click on my own margin comment and I can reply to myself. Maybe I'm adding to it or checking it off. Maybe I even want to edit something. I can click on my peas in a pod over here and I can edit. Okay, check spelling. Maybe that's a reminder. So I can edit myself as I'm going along. My peas in a pod. Also let me delete a margin comment. Maybe I don't need that one anymore, and I can verify that I want to delete that whole comment thread and it goes away. Another way of not totally deleting, but maybe this area is getting too cluttered, I can resolve my margin comment. That's if you're sort of using it like a checklist, a to-do list. You reminded yourself of something. Okay, I've done it now. I'm going to resolve that, and watch. It'll zip away and evaporate, and this one will move up. Now that's still there because if I go into my main bubble up top, I can see all of my margin comments. That's how you would insert a margin comment on a document. Margin comments are especially useful when more than one user is on a digital document. When you have a shared document between multiple people, when you've got a collaborative space going, whether you're providing support for somebody or you've got a group project, if you've shared a file and you have multiple people typing, it can get kind of confusing, and we can use margin comments as a way of communicating with each other, those post-its of suggestions to one another or creating a to-do list. So in this example, the group project or collaborative space, I created this and I'm logged in as Amy Frary, and this is my document, but I've shared it with another user, the tech trainer. And that other user came into the document, to the shared space, and left me some margin comments. So the first one they have is they highlighted the number 2, and they said, I think we should spell out the 2 as 2. That's their suggestion. They didn't go ahead and do it, but they said that they thought that was a good idea. So I can come in and I can reply and I can say, great idea. And when we notice it now, Tech Trainer has her icon there of a dog, and there's my Amy Frary, the rainbow scarf. So we can reply to each other in the margin comments, maybe even assign each other a task. Similarly, Tech Trainer said, I think we need to create a stronger conclusion sentence to this paragraph. She highlighted that whole last sentence, and I could leave a reply and say, you do it, right? So that I'm leaving that to the Tech Trainer to take charge of. I can also resolve somebody's comments. Maybe I don't want their advice. Maybe I think that's a really bad idea. So I can come in and resolve and hide the discussion, and that margin comment will temporarily disappear. It disappears from this part of our workspace, our margin, but that comment or that discussion thread is always available to us by going to the upper bar margin comment, and I can see our little post-it conversation right there.